Welcome to Beyond the Press Releases. Today, a production of Gorecom in which we speak to small cap companies about big important news, except that David Lukacs over Liquid Avatar has put up, 5 or 6 press releases in the last 3 days. And that's not really that much of an exaggeration. Tons of stuff to talk about, all metaverse related. For those of you to the story, the company trades in Canada under LQID, Liquid. And for our friends in the US, LQAVF, Liquid Avatar with the F. So if you want to remember the symbol. For those new to the story, because we always have more and more people. Why? Because Web3, which encompasses blockchain, NFT, cryptocurrency, and tokens, are getting more and more interested with small cap shareholders, and they're looking for companies that are Liquid Avatar. You guys have seen the headlines, some more people are coming on. So here's what you need to know first. The genesis of the company, and this is really important. This isn't let me tell you history. It's the genesis story that's so important, okay? They're a global blockchain and personal ID company, all right? Their technology empowers people like you and I to control, manage, and even generate value from our biometrically verified digital identity. And guys, if you don't know it already, trust me, this is where the world is going, bar none, okay? What we've had is we're losing that, and we're moving into personally controlling our own digital identities, right? So this allows business and governments to easily integrate digital wallets and set up even new business models and new ways of engagement, all through the Liquid Avatar platform. But that's not where it ends. As the digital universes continue to expand, there's an ever increasing need to verify online identity. We're not going to talk about what Liquid Avatar is already doing with the Ontario Convenience Store Association, what the Ontario government is doing with digital ID strategy, because otherwise this intro would be way too long. What we're talking about today is Metaverse. And a lot of people have heard a lot. This is the evolution of the internet from Web 2 to Web 3.0. A lot of companies are using this as a buzzword to try and get attention, except for the fact that Liquid Avatar has had unbelievable success with its Aftermath Islands NFT project already. What you need to know is the Metaverse market is about $30 billion already, but it's on its way to $800 billion by 2024. That means there's a lot of room to expand. And Liquid Avatar's Aftermath Island Metaverse is already off to screaming success. The big press release today, Aftermath Islands Metaverse to launch utility token for gameplay. That's one of a number that have come out in the last 72 hours. David, welcome back, my friend.
Wow, thanks, George. Great to be here.
It's getting harder and harder to do these intros because you guys doing so many amazing things, but I got to kind of compact it so I don't steal the show. But it's amazing what you guys are doing in the metaverse space. It really is.
Well, thanks, George. I mean, I try and condense it this way. You know, at our core is digital identity, always at our core. Around that, we have our avatar strategies, and then around that, we have our metaverse. And that's our Web 3.0 program, locked and loaded.
Yeah, because digital identity is what you need for those other layers. Without it, it all just falls apart. It's exactly. So before we talk about the press release in a minute, all right, let's first revisit Aftermath Islands and where it's at today, because you had the sales going on in Q4. They were incredibly successful, but there are new people who are watching. So what's the status of Aftermath Islands right now?
So Aftermath Islands, as you know, launched in early November, and we had a killer Q4 with that. I mean, all of last year, we did about 16,000 from Q1 to 3. And, you know, subject to review by the auditors, I want to say in Q4, we did about $1 million. So it's been a really, really amazing Q. Boom. Exactly. And the trend is really good going into 2022 already. Aftermath Islands is a metaverse, but unlike other metaverses, we've really focused on 3 different areas. We have a thematic gameplay area. So we have different islands that have different themes.
Yeah,
we have yeah, exactly. You know, from Dragon Alley to, you know, Blackforge Bay and
Manor,
Bitcoin. Well, those are our estates. So let me get to
right. Yeah, sorry.
Right, so we got our themes first, that are gameplay. So you could be on an island in a home and watch a dinosaur run by and eat your sheep. That's the way I like to put it. And then we have community islands. And community islands are the everyday islands for the metaverse. They're places where you can work, play, learn, and entertain. They're an everyday safe zone where people can do the things they want to do. Then we have estates like Musk Manor and Bitcoin Bay and all kinds of great places where larger estates, gated islands can be found. And as time goes on, we'll be issuing private islands and premium brand islands, which will be focused on specific topic areas, or might be an association that wants a private group or an educational institute that wants a private island. So we've got enough on the go to support everyone and anything. And on top of that, we're not only selling land, George, but we're giving away some great things. We gave away dinosaur eggs and dragon eggs and horses. And now if you make purchases, you get a hover bike. And we have, and they're all NFTs, and those are all rare NFTs for those that participated in November.
And those like bonuses for the people who
exactly
who bought land on or bought on Aftermath Islands, right?
Right. And now we're
it's extra buying. You're also going to get a little bit of this. You're going to get
exactly. It's a gift with purchase, right? Gift with purchase. And now we're just started selling houses. So, and there's lots more to come. So it's an engaging platform that we're going to be built, and everybody needs to understand that the metaverse build is 6 months and then 9 months and 12 and 18. There's a lot to be done over the next 2 years, but we're going to bring it out in segments. Then this week, we started talking about our first play to earn game, which is really cool. So those that are already account holders in our metaverse will be able to, by Q2, sometime in Q2, they'll be able to download a game and they'll be able to start earning credits, which are utility tokens.
Just from playing.
Right, just from playing. And they'll be able to also acquire items and resources that can be bundled into NFTs and be used in our game. So everything goes back to the fact that we're creating different types of NFTs. Some are rare, some are common. And we are also creating opportunities for free of charge for people to earn assets, items, and tokens. And assets, I'd like to say, I'd rather say items and tokens.
Yeah,
that's probably the best way to put it.
And for anybody who there's still people in this world that say, NFTs, those things are just ridiculous. You guys did. I mean, you're approaching 6 digits just in December. That means there's real demand.
Yes, in December we did 6 digits.
Right. But yeah,
we did 6 digits.
But the point is, that means there's real demand out there. That wasn't David, his brother, and his mother, and me who just bought a couple parcels or something like that. This is serious. Why do you think, David, for the naysayers out there, what are they missing? What are they not understanding as to why Bob and Mary are buying land on Aftermath Islands?
Well, we took a different tact, George. It's exactly what you're talking about. NFTs have been primarily purchased through cryptocurrencies, and not everyone is a crypto enthusiast, crypto bug, or has a crypto wallet. Let's be honest. It's still a very small segment of the market. It's got a lot of news, but a very small segment. We did something completely different. We worked with partners that developed opportunities with ourselves to work on Shopify, which everybody knows Shopify store. Not a NFT platform that someone had to get a wallet, then do this, then do that. We went through Shopify.
For those who haven't been through it, it's
my gosh.
It's a nightmare. But
17 words. Remember these, copy them down. Yeah, exactly. So we did through Shopify, and we allow people to buy our products and our NFTs through PayPal using your Visa card, your bank card. We have done so much business through PayPal, the vast majority, which means we're allowing everyday individuals to start getting into NFTs in a way that they're used to already buying stuff on Amazon or on eBay or on any website. Use PayPal to buy. So we can use credit cards, we can use bank cards. It's so simple. You can open up a Wax wallet, which carries your NFTs, in about 1 minute. It's so simple. We've made the process easy to do.
I thought that was genius.
And we are among the first to do that.
I thought that was genius. So let's talk about now the press release going further. You're launching a utility token for gameplay. Before I can even ask you why'd you do that, we need to explain to people what is a utility token.
Sure.
What's going to be the application in Aftermath Islands, and why is this such a critical milestone here?
Well, if you've ever played any video game, George, you're usually collecting something in a video game, right? Everybody knows who's heard these interviews before. I'm not only a comic book collector, but I'm a gamer. So I've been playing World of Warcraft for 20 years, and I'll be the first to say and that I bought things in game and out of game and through different markets, through the auction houses and through private sales. And so I collect when I finish a quest, I collect gold. So that's a token in game. We've been collecting power ups for Super Mario since it came out. We collected extra lives. Those are all effectively utility tokens. They are something that can be used in game to enhance your gameplay value.
Right.
So
Get
that
enough
is
tokens, put them together, and you can buy a super taser gun or a
exactly.
super
So
booster for your,
right.
for your dinosaur or something.
Yeah, or give them a hammer and they're now a dinosaur, right? They're no longer a dinosaur. Exactly. So at the end of the day,
that one.
yeah, okay. At the end of the day, the utility token now, utility tokens may be able to be traded outside our ecosystem. That's not what we're promoting, but a lot of utility tokens end up trading in the ecosphere. And our tokens are just going to be powered by a blockchain. So, and they'll be available in game. So it's not anything that gamers are not used to. We're making this easy and fun to use, but we're also there's a serious side to this too for those that want to look at growth opportunities in our business.
So give me some of the applications now of the utility token, or have you guys thought about it yet? I mean, I'm sure you haven't, because the first thing you have to do is make sure you could create it and get through the technical side. Any thoughts on what some of the applications might be on Aftermath Islands?
Well, sure. You want to, my running joke is an avatar walks into a bar and wants to buy a drink. Somebody wants to, put tokens in a jukebox. They want to buy a bigger sword. They want to buy a house. They want to trade for a bundle of lumber. There's so many different in-game applications, but then that token, just like in Decentraland or the Sandbox, has other applications outside of the network. Those are up to the individuals, but we're talking about in-game. But all cryptocurrency-based tokens seem to end up trading on different exchanges, and that may happen as well.
Yeah, because if it gets big enough, there's going to be demand for these tokens all over the world. Just explain to people, how do these secondary markets get created?
Well, again, we don't want to promote the token as anything but a utility token in this current iteration.
Sure.
And so tokens, like anything else, like if you wanted to use gold in World of Warcraft, there are exchanges out there where you can trade fiat dollars for gold, which can be used in World of Warcraft. And there is a secondary economy for products, just like there's secondary economies for everything that's on eBay. Blizzard produced trading cards over a 20-year period that had in-game items attached to them. And those, a polar bear card that you would have got for free at a Blizzard event now sells for approximately $2,000. So there's value in collectibles. So we've combined the ability for cryptocurrency to be used in-game, be a collectible. There's lots of different value propositions for a utility token for those that want to be involved in Aftermath Islands. And we're very, very excited about that.
And this is a big milestone, right? It's not some people don't understand yet how all these things happen. You don't just wake up today and say, hey, let's put an announcement out there that we're going to launch a utility token. There's a lot of technology know-how that goes behind that in order to make it possible to be an in-game, exchange of value and all that. So how are you guys locking down the technology? Is that in-house? You work with partners?
It's a little bit of both, but a lot of partnership. Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees if you do it by yourself. So we've brought in some exceptional partners, a group called Blockscale, and we're looking at other partners to come on board as well. And we hope to be able to disclose those in the coming weeks. So we've got different partnerships with different groups. We've got game partnerships, we've got token partnerships, we've got storyline partnerships. We are bringing in best of breed partners from around the world and literally around the world to help us with this.
And
And
by the way, a lot of people might just take that for granted and say, well, of course, David's going to go find good people. But here's the problem, guys. There's so much demand for so few people who are capable of delivering this on the technology side that what's happening is they're picking and choosing who they want to work with. So just the fact that David, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm overstating it, by all means correct me, but I think that's a big third party validation that they said, yeah, we'll work with you guys because they probably have dozens of different options. They can only take on 3 or 4 or 5, and you're one of them. And they don't do that unless they know there's like if I went to that group and said, hey, I want to launch George Bucks, I want to launch George Bucks tokens, and I'll pay you $25,000-$50,000. They'd say, we don't care. That's not going anywhere. It's going to be a loser project, just wasting our time. So it doesn't say a lot that Liquid Avatar was able to land a really good partner.
I believe so. I mean, we've been in the space now for a number of years, and people know us well, and we've got a great track record. So people just can look that up, and I believe we've done some great projects, and they love what we're doing from a creative standpoint. This is just not, well, we're going to launch a metaverse, and George, you said this at the beginning, and I've heard it often. You're going to start seeing the metaverse as a big buzzword, and we've seen this with a number of junior companies over the last few years. The cannabis industry gets hot, and everybody changes their name to Cannabis Inc.
Yeah.
And psychedelics get hot, and everybody changes their name to Psychedelics Inc. So metaverse gets hot, and we are one of the very few metaverse centric plays in the markets, in the public markets today. And I know there's a few of them, but you could go out and buy Meta stock or Facebook stock, and they're not even a pure play either. This is one of their key growth indicators. And if you go to our friends at tokens.com, it's also part of their situation. We're all involved in creating great companies that have the metaverse or Web 3.0 as part of our ecosystems. And with us, we have all the trailing pieces. We have metaverses, we have avatars, and we have digital identity. And for us, that is the trifecta.
Yeah, you gotta. And I love how you guys have set this up. So tell me something. In the press release, you say you're aiming for Q2. It's not a guarantee, but you're aiming for Q2. And to me, by the way, as a shareholder, as even an outside observer, whether it's Q2 or Q3 doesn't really make all that big a difference. I mean, it'd be great to have it out sooner, of course, but even if it's Q3, we're so early in the metaverse game that it's better to wait an extra quarter and get it done right. Explain to people at home how they can buy these utility tokens. And I know we talked about the fact that you go through Shopify. We talked about that, but specifically in this situation, you've got a whitelist. What is it, and how does that help people, get to the front of the line to buy these tokens?
Well, a whitelist is like a waiting list. It's a very simple situation. We'll put people on a waiting list, and I have to be candid. Some people will not qualify to be able to buy our utility tokens.
Really?
Yeah, because there are regulations about the purchase of cryptocurrency offerings.
For example, give us a couple if you don't mind. A couple. What are some of the?
In Canada, US, it's a little more restrictive than than it is in some other countries around the world, and so we'll follow the rules. We've consulted with our Barbados Council. We've consulted with our Canadian Council and our US Council, and we're doing things by the book. We want to make sure this is done right. And those that are investors in our company always get the benefit of what we're doing anyways, right? So it's, even if you can earn tokens every day. There's no problem. So you can acquire tokens, sign up for our play to earn game, and you're going to get your first couple hundred tokens. So we're not doing what's called an airdrop where everybody gets tokens just for showing up. Play our play to earn game and get tokens for free. There's no problem. That we want to make sure there is fair distribution of our tokens for in-game usage. But for those that want to purchase it, they're going to have to join our whitelist, and then we have to verify certain people and certain criteria. But at the end of the day, and I say this with great respect, and you and I always say this, everyone has to do their own due diligence, but we are already getting offers. Things are moving very quickly here. People are saying, well, can I get in? Can I get in? And again, please keep in mind that that's not a promotional statement. That's just people are excited, and we're seeing that excitement. about everything we're doing. I mean, I don't want to downplay our digital identity opportunities in the Ontario Convenience Store Association, because that could be millions of people who then are millions of people who could come to our metaverse. So there's lots of different opportunities, and we're starting to talk to other metaverse organizations that want to make sure their people in their organization, their players, are going to be, good actors, and they need digital identity. So this is a growing opportunity for the entire Liquid Avatar family. This isn't just a single play opportunity.
Um, you talked about earlier. So we talked about the mobile play to earn, which is awesome. I love that. And you touched a little bit about other things that you gave away, and I want to read the press release. Aftermath Islands launches 3D houses, ultra rare hover bike, and NFTs for use in the metaverse. Should we expect more that might
Oh
be
yeah.
coming out?
Oh yeah. No, there's a lot of imagination upstairs here. And every day there's something new that we're all thinking of.
Now you're not monetizing those because you're are you monetizing those or are you giving those to existing
We're
owners?
giving those away. We want
So
people to
explain
have
to shareholders why giving away actually how that actually creates value.
I'm as a happily married gentleman. I can't remember how many times I've actually walked into a perfume counter, bought my wife some perfume, and they give me a bag full of stuff to go with it. Right? That's called a gift with purchase. And those bags are those duffel bags and everything you get is what everybody wants. We believe that to see the economy of our application, we've got to be really good to our purchasers. And to do that, we've got to give all our early purchasers, and we'll continue this program in different ways, really cool items that they can own, trade, and do whatever they want with. And these will be rare items. So, again, I mentioned earlier, World of Warcraft polar bear. Only a few people have that polar bear. It's worth a couple $1,000. So, and I want to show, my situation. I mean, I've acquired on my own over 500 plots of land. So I'm buying land almost every week. So it's been a lot of fun.
So you just keep adding and adding and adding
I,
yourself.
you know, I a new island comes out. I want to be an owner on an island. You know,
You gotta love the fact that you're putting your money where your mouth is.
well, absolutely. I'm restricted more often than I'd like to from buying stock in our company in the open markets, because there's so much going on behind the scenes, and we don't want to be looked at as knowing something in advance. So, but I can buy land just like everyone else, so I'm doing that.
Let's talk about that for a second. I think you put out one, two, three, four.
Four announcements.
If I got this right, major press release just in the last few days.
Yeah.
Right. And these aren't fluff. This isn't David decides to add, a different shade of color to the watercolor on Aftermath Islands. These are real big announcements. Is this, and I'm not saying this literally, but is this the pace we should come to expect from Liquid Avatar in 2022? That between digital identity and between the metaverse side, because I know they work together, but I still kind of separate them in two because they're different as far as customers go. Is this the kind of pace we should be expecting on Liquid Avatar? Are you at that point now where you got more opportunity than you can handle, so you just pick and choose and announce and move on?
Well, I think I don't want to say we have more opportunity than we can handle, because there's capacity always for a little bit more. That's just always the way it seems to go. Right?
Just a little bit
Just where
more.
you think, just one more bite, just one more bite.
One more
right?
wafer, sir. Just
Exactly.
one
No
little
thi-
wafer. For
no,
those of you
you
who don't
know,
know, we're talking about Monty Python. For everybody
Exactly.
that-
One more with thin wafer mints, right?
and he
With thin
blows
wafer
up.
mints. Exactly. But I'd like to say, for my own health and welfare, I don't think I'd want to keep this pace up of 4 releases a week. It is
No, I
taxing.
don't expect that, but
No, but I
seems
think
like it's
we're in a
pretty frequent
position
now.
now where there are really amazing things happening every day, and so days are full, and there's lots of opportunity, and I think we want to make our investors part of the story. We want them to be vested. We want them to know what we're doing to the best of our ability. It's not we're not trying to be promotional. We're trying to be informative, and because we
No,
believe,
this is not promotional, or we wouldn't be talking about it.
Right.
David, you and I are friends for a couple of decades. Yeah, and you're a customer of Agoracom for sure. But if this is a bunch of fluff, we wouldn't even be talking about
No.
it. This is the real deal.
Yeah, this week was a big week, and I think the coming weeks will be significant too. And George, you've known me for a long time, and I've run a number of organizations, and I've talked about this before about lightning strikes, and we've been very fortunate in previous organizations to see a catalyst event where our shareholder value goes up dramatically, and so I think that I can't tell you when because I don't know because it happens organically, just like a viral application. But I feel in my mind I can hear thunder in the background. I feel in my humble opinion that we're doing all the right things to try and create a successful event. But again, qualify that everybody needs to do their own due
Oh,
diligence.
obviously. I'm gonna ask you about one last thing in
Sure.
terms of validation for the industry that happened just a few days ago.
Hmm.
For anybody out there who's watching or listening and says, I'm still not convinced, NFTs humbug, Web3, it just sounds like one big, financial scheme or something like that. We had Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter first came out and announced they are going to take NFTs and allow you to use them to verify your ID on Twitter as a platform. And that's going to open up all sorts of possibilities. And Facebook and Instagram are not far behind. Their plans are on top of that, not just to verify ID, but to allow their users to create and sell NFTs right on their platforms. These massive platforms wouldn't be doing this as a money grab. They're not this is the hot thing. So what does that say to naysayers out there? And what does it say to your team? Not that you guys need convincing, but how does that supercharge you guys when you're saying, okay, even the biggest platforms of the world now are making NFTs a big part of the experience?
Well, I think that's amazing. I'm not convinced yet that you can use an NFT for identity, because an NFT is usually on a public blockchain, and that has its own issues. But aside from that, and again, I'm not saying I can't stand corrected, but I think what it shows is we see banks doing NFTs, we see all these types of organizations. If you think of NFTs as a way to hold an item online in a secure fashion or manner, that's all you got to think of. Think of it as an NFT as a plastic case around your comic book or your baseball card. That's the way to think about it. It is a way to secure that item and make it individual. So it's really important. But it also says that brands are coming in. I want to leave everyone with one great idea that we've been using to explain to brands, and we're talking a lot of brands now. Again, I'll go back to the joke: an avatar walks into a bar. Okay, walks.
I love that.
I know. I don't. It sounds so cool. Walks up, orders a drink. Okay, and I'm going to use a brand name again. I'm not giving any endorsements, but orders a Red Bull, right? Orders a branded drink, a Red Bull. Drinks the Red Bull because the avatar is going to go out on a quest. And what does Red Bull do? Red Bull gives you wings, right? Grows a set of wings and has a buff or a boost or a power up for a limited amount of time. But because that avatar is controlled by an individual, that individual has digital identity. So we have a metaverse application, we have an avatar application, we have a digital identity application. And because they have digital identity and they've set certain permissions, they get delivered to their inbox a coupon for 2-for-1 Red Bull at the local 7-Eleven, right? So there is a way to tie commerce from digital identity to avatars to the metaverse very simply. And I'm talking about that. And in fact, my upcoming, not the one that's currently in the can, but we're writing an article for Forbes about that right now.
David, I'm going to tell the world, for everyone who's watched these, you already know what I'm going to say, but for those of you who are new, you called all this 3 years ago, sitting in a cafe in the middle of the summer, outside in the GTA, when we were talking about this. I said, David, I like this. It's great, but this is so far off. I mean, realistically, I would have said this is 5 to 7 years off. You're too early. And just like you said earlier, you're happy to be proven wrong. I'm happy to be proven wrong. You guys are hitting it out of the park, man.
Thank you.
Really proud of what you guys, the whole team, is doing there. And as a shareholder, I wish you even more success, because this week's standing indication 2022 is going to be awesome.
Thank you, George. Really appreciate it.
For everybody at home, you've been watching, or if you listen by podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, your favorite podcast platform too, David Lukacs, CEO, Liquid Avatar Technologies, trades in Canada under LQID. For our friends in the US, LQAVF. For those in the store, you need to do due diligence because you believe in the future of Web3, you believe in the future of the metaverse. I mean, guys, how can you not? Facebook has changed its name to the Meta Group, for the love of God, and they told us that's where they're going. So that you got to have really big courage to be betting against that. So if you believe it and you want small cap, ground up exposure, then you've got to do your due diligence on Liquid Avatar. So head over to Agoracom, read up on their profile page, where we give you a good 1,000-foot overview, and then link over to the company's website to do your deep dive due diligence. Write this down. Don't tell us 12 months from now that we didn't tell you so. Have a great day. See you next time. Hey guys, this video is over, but don't forget to help your company by liking it and even leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our channel and never missing another great Agoracom small cap video.